Well, hey, children over 30, how you been? So, for some reason, my camera is looking a little bit weird today, but that I don't know what to do about it. So, here we go. Seba Trix 2. Got Flying Eagle frames on there. Of course, the compass wheels. It's my weird rocker that everybody insists is insane, but feels really good to me. This is the non-carbon fiber version. I personally don't really like carbon fiber skates. Really twitchy. If you hit a patch of rough pavement for even like 5 seconds, they just rattle your feet to sleep. If you're prone to hot spots in any sort of skates, it's just they're not coming out. I mean, even if they're heat moldable, like it's just, I don't like carbon fiber skates, okay? I just don't. And sometimes spending more money on things doesn't necessarily that you'll get a thing that you like more, unfortunately. So I got these in winter, I guess. Quentin up at Shop Task hooked me up, and you know, I've been looking at these skates for like a long time, and the thing that made me really nervous about them was this Y cuff. I really hate forward flex in skates. Like, I like a skate that I can lean into in the front and not have to worry about, you know, collapsing, I guess. And this Y cuff just looks like it was made for like tons of forward flex. I mean, I know it's like, you know, based off the KSJ, and so, you know, designed for all of his slalom needs. I don't know what a slalom skater needs. It seems like maybe forward flex would be a thing that they would need for all, you know, the heels, wheelings that they do. But after I talked to Leon sort of ad nauseum about these, and I talked to Quentin about these like ad nauseum again, they assured me, they're like, dude, that's not the case. Like, it's a good, solid feeling skate. And they're totally right. This is a great, solid feeling skate. So about sizing, my feet are roughly like 270 millimeters. This is a size 41 and it fits perfectly. I was really nervous about buying a 41. Quentin had to talk me into it, like hardcore talk me into it. I'm glad that he did though. And it struck me a little bit odd because I've been skating these 42 FRs for like a long time. And with the stock 42 liners in these FRs, like they were extremely painful. I think I had them on my feet for probably like 20 minutes total. And I was like, no, this ain't gonna work. So I had put in this Flying Eagle liner, which despite being rather thick on top, it has a neoprene toe, and that allowed me, you know, a little bit of extra space. It was really like the perfect size. Like, I wasn't stubbing my toes on the front, but it still felt nice and tight. So the padding's kind of broken down as it does with any sort of hard shell skate. The fit is getting a little bit sloppy. I really need a new pair of liners for these. But unfortunately, Flying Eagle makes these F7 liners really hard to get, which is doubly unfortunate because it's probably one of the best things that they make. Like, if I had to list a top 2 Flying Eagle products, it would be the drift frames and these F7 liners. So anyway, coming back to this, these 41s feel maybe like a millimeter or 2 smaller than those. Not a cause for concern at all. Like I said, they feel great. They fit great right out of the box. So I guess we'll do the standard, start at the bottom, work the way up. So throughout the years, and I don't know if certain shops just listed it wrong or if they've changed from year to year, but I thought at one point the base of these was supposed to be some sort of like fiberglass composite. So like not actually plastic, but it looked like plastic and it wasn't carbon fiber, so people just called it plastic. These I'm pretty sure are plastic. They do have the standard Seba 7-hole mounting, so really happy about that. You know, metal mounting plates and all that goodness. You can see right there, this little squishy bit. I have to believe that that's a, you know, some sort of shock absorber of some sort. You know, in this sort of skate, I don't know if there's necessarily a reason for that. I don't mind it, I guess. It's not removable, unfortunately. It's underneath whatever sort of footbed is like sewn into the bottom, so you can't take it out. But it seems to be a nice, like, dense material, so that's cool. It has these little abrasive pads right here, so there's the one on the outside, there's the one on the inside, and they're not the standard Seba, like, plastic ones on, like, you know, the FR and the Highlight and all those. They like screw in and they're removable and you can replace them. These are just like I don't even know what you call it, like a leathery sort of material. It's kind of plasticky, leathery, more on the plastic side. So if you're somebody that enjoys taking your big wheel skates and sliding them across the ground, these probably aren't going to be the skates for you. They will get torn up very quickly. These skates are meant to be babied and cherished and loved and not slid across pavement. Same kind of goes for the toe protector. Like, there's no additional material here. It is like a nice solid material, and I'm sure it hands up to abrasiveness, you know, quite well. Just for like normal wear and tear, like if you're out practicing moves and you fall, like you don't have to worry about, you know, a year or so from now, like having a big hole in the front of your skate. Like, that's not going to happen. But if you're doing things that are, you know, potentially very harmful to your skates, like again, sliding them across the ground, probably not the skates for you. Moving up, well, I mean, I guess if you're going by space, like I should talk about the Y cuff next, but usually the cuff's higher, so I'm going to talk about the cuff later. So you get into these kind of enclosures and stuff. You got your standard toe strap. You have this 45-degree buckle, which, as you can see, is a bit like at an angle. It's not straight across like most 45 straps are. I can't tell you like this is the difference and this is like objectively better and here's why. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure about that. But the 45 strap works on these really well. You can see on the side of the boot, see a little hole right by the spider. At first, I was like, is this semi-defective or something? Like, did they accidentally like drill 2 holes? But the logic is that you can take this and then like move it back a little bit and adjust the fit that way. So if you're somebody that's just can't get this 45 tight enough, like your foot is very, very, very thin, there is an option to move it back and get it even tighter. So that is tight, literally. And then up here, we don't have a buckle. We just have a Velcro strap. I tend to prefer the Velcro strap to the buckle anyway. It just feels more natural. Less of a tendency to dig into your shin. So the lacing, usually I don't talk about too much because it's like it's laces. What do you have to talk about? But I will say, so the top of the boot is these 3 lace eyelets right here, right? So you're lacing it up and you get it nice and tight. The thing is, once you tighten like these top 2 quite a bit, this third one invariably gets like pretty loose. There is a, God, I hate to use this word, but hack for this, a fix where you use the laces to stop at this bottom hole and just go ahead and tie them. And then you have another set of laces that just go for these top 2. I did experiment with that a little bit. The laces I had were kind of thin and crappy. So I was getting quite a bit of lace bite. So I ended up just going back to this. The solution to this would just be to use hooks like they do on ice boots. Those are a lot better about when you pull them tight. It's a more uniform tightness, like it tightens from top to bottom. So you don't end up with this last one being all loose and these 2 being extra tight. But for some reason, rollerblades don't like to use the hooks. I don't know why. I would guess they're not as good at standing up to being slid across the ground as, you know, just eyelets. You know, if people would just wear their jeans over their skates, though, it wouldn't be an issue. But for some reason, we're all acting like we're sponsored and we need to tuck our pants into our skates. I don't get it, dude. It's a rollerblader thing. I don't know. So the Y cuff, and I already touched on this a little bit. I was really worried that it was just going to be all like, you know, forward back flexy or even like laterally flexy. Such is not really the case. I do see on the side of the boot, like right here, on figure skates at least, these are called flex notches, and that's to allow a little bit more forward movement. But that being said, when I have these laced up like nice and tight, well, I'll put it this way. If I'm lacing them up and I have my legs straight up and down and I tighten the Velcro strap as tight as I can go, they stand me like straight up like frickin' K2s. The way to get just the little bit of forward movement that I want is to put them on with my shin a little bit forward, sort of preset to the max distance that I want to go, and then really crank on the Velcro strap from there. As far as the height of the boot, it's sort of like a mid height. I was hoping it was a little bit shorter than your standard Seba, but such isn't really the case. I think it's probably just as tall as like the Highlight or the Igor or any of that stuff. I already mentioned that I hate forward flex. I do enjoy a good amount of backward flex though. Just aesthetically, I've wanted a skate that I was able to flex my foot forward and really point my toes in for quite a while. It just makes your footwork like really clean when you can point your toes like that. And these maybe will break into a point like that, but out of the box and, you know, within the first like several sessions of using them, like not really. They don't really have a lot of backward flex at all. And it's frustrating because like they could totally put the deepest V-cut ever in here, but they don't. And, you know, again, it's probably going back to the whole slalom skater thing. Like maybe they want support in the back so that when they're doing their toe wheeling thing, they have a good solid base to press against. You know, it probably works really well for that. But again, that's not really a thing that I do. It's not a concern that I have. So I don't really see it as a benefit for me personally. The lining on these, I would say, is pretty comparable to like an FR liner. It's not super dense. It's nowhere near like an Intuition liner or anything like that. But I will say it's like really, really comfortable. Like these are easily the most comfortable skates that I own. It's just like a big pillow putting your foot in there. And kind of coming back to these Y cuffs, because they don't work the same way that a normal cuff does. Usually I have to wear those little neoprene ankle boot things. And these, a lot of times I can get away with not using them. So who are these for? First of all, I would say anybody that's currently on a K2 fitness skate that just wants something that's overall better quality. It is a nice, comfy, soft boot. You can get that K2 straight up and down if you want it, or you can not. Just all around better quality. Like, I mean, there's not really much else to say about it. Like it'll be like your K2s, just better in every single way. Of course, it's sort of the budget model of a pro skate for a slalom skater. You know, a slalom skater will absolutely love these. They're very responsive, assuming they fit your foot like they should. Sebas tend to run wide. So if you have a sort of medium to wide foot, like this is going to be the skate for you. Don't even look at other brands. Just get Seba. The big one, for me at least, is people that are currently figure skaters and they're looking into getting into rollerblading. You know, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. Like, so the uptick in figure skaters looking for rollerblades. I mean, usually there's quite a bit during the summer, but now it's just like, you know, this spring has just been ridiculous. And these are going to feel the closest to a freestyle boot of anything on the market, period. Like, you will not find a skate that feels more at home than this. Bonus being, you're not going to have to worry about breaking them in for like 6 months. You're not going to have to worry about punching out the ankles. You're not going to have to worry about any of that stuff. These are going to be comfortable right out of the box. And as far as I can tell, the amount of support that they have is going to be the amount of support that they have for quite a long time. It's great. I wish they made figure skates like this, that were this comfortable and just out of the box. And oh man, breaking in my last pair of ice boots was just, it was so painful. Like, there's so much blood on those skates now and there's no blood on these. And I appreciate that. Thank you for not making me bleed, Seba. I can do that on my own just fine. Another really exciting point about these skates for me is just the price point. Like, I've seen them for $250, $300. I think the women's version, the Trix 2W, is just over $300, which is just insane. Like, you shouldn't be able to get a skate that's this good a quality for that much money. Like, what else can you get for $250? Pretty sure that's less than the cost. And in fact, I'm sure it's less than the cost of the highest end FR. Again, if you're somebody that's into more dancey styles, or really you just don't need a skate that's, you know, got a big plastic skeleton on it because you're not going to be sliding it across the ground and jumping off things and stuff like that. Like, this is an amazing option. Like, honestly, the fact that I love these as much as I do and they cost what they do just makes me want to buy like 5 or 6 pairs of them, just so I'll know that like I'll have them for the foreseeable future. Because it's just too good of a skate for the price. I would gladly pay another $100 for these boots. easily. So one caveat that I gotta throw into this, I notice I have these Flying Eagle drift frames, which I love, blah, 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 blah. But the ones that come on them, the Seba, oh, what are they called? X2R rockerable frames are like total junk. I mean, they'll get you by. I'll say that. Like, you probably can skate them and won't have a noticeable problem for a long time. Brock has some, and I don't think he ever broke them, and that dude breaks like everything. But if you take them apart and kind of look at the rockering hardware in them and stuff, like there's so much give and play on the rockerable axles. It's like they're just not. So when you get a chance, I would upgrade to either a pre-rockered Seba frame, or if you want a rockerable frame, right now Flying Eagle makes the best one. The Seba Deluxe frames, you know, pretty much got you covered across the board. Unless, again, you want a frame that you can rocker or not rocker. And then the drifts are the way to go. So that's about it. Man, these are real close to being like my ideal skates. If they were considerably more V-cut in the back, and that's basically it. That's all I want out of these skates. If they were a little bit more V-cut in the back, they would be my perfect skates, and I would never lust after another pair ever again. You know, I would like to see the liner be a little bit more dense, you know, closer to that Intuition foam. But for like $250, like, you know, I mean, if I have to buy a pair of these a year, that's fine. That's totally fine. These are just really, really good skates. I'm upset at myself that I didn't get them sooner. So that's it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. See, I'm hugging them right now. This is how much I love these skates. They're so good. Yeah. See you later.